Now, US Climate Envoy John Kerry is on a 4-day visit to China. Kerry met with his counterpart Xie Zhen-Hua for nearly 4 hours at the Beijing hotel on Monday. Now, Kerry's visit, it marks the resumption of top-level climate diplomacy between the two biggest greenhouse gas emitters in the world. After his nearly 4-hour meeting talks with Xie Zhen-Hua, John Kerry also met with China's top diplomat Wang Yi. Kerry told Wang Yi that he hopes that China and the United States could see climate cooperation to redefine their diplomatic relationship and tackle global warming. Now, Kerry said, and I'm quoting here, "We are very hopeful that this can be the beginning of not just a conversation between you and I and us on the climate track, but we can also begin to change the broader relationship here." The talks during Kerry's 4-day visit would pave the way for the two nations to cooperate. Wang Yi said China and the United States also need to communicate, and that as long as communication is maintained, any problem can be solved.
China and the United States need communication. These years, we had few communications, so there have been more problems. Sometimes, small problems could become big problems. As long as we conduct equal dialogues and communication in an equal way, I believe that we can find a proper solution to any problem.
Now, earlier on Tuesday, the US Special Envoy for Climate also met Chinese Premier Li Keqiang.
Currently, the world is facing a daunting challenge of climate response. It is incumbent of China, the United States, and indeed all countries in the world to strengthen coordination, build consensus, and speed up actions.
For more on this, we're now being joined by Andrew Wood from Hong Kong. Thank you so much for joining us. John Kerry is on a crucial visit to Beijing. The focus seems to be, of course, on collaboration on climate action. What's your assessment of this visit? Do you think it can yield any significant results?
Well, the fact they're talking is good. Remember, China broke off talks on climate issues back in August last year after a senior American politician, Nancy Pelosi, visited Taiwan. Taiwan is a democratically governed island, but China says that it's part of China and will be reunited with force. And so they didn't really like America interfering in it, what they see as Beijing sees as its backyard. So these talks are going ahead. I don't expect we'll get anything massive, anything really concrete out of it, but the fact they are talking is a good thing. Remember also that John Kerry, a couple of days ago, or a couple of days before he flew to Beijing at the weekend, he was talking to a congressional committee, and he told the US Congress committee, the politicians on it, that he saw the point of this, or the object for this visit, was to stabilize relations, but not to concede anything. So if you're going into talks not prepared to concede anything, it's difficult to see perhaps how you can get something meaningful out of it. That said, it's good that the world's biggest economies and the two biggest emitters of greenhouse gases are talking to each other. I mean, as the officials were saying, this is a global issue, and it's good that the two global leaders are working on it.
Right, absolutely. I'd say the wider focus seems to be on US-China diplomacy. What can you tell us about that? Would you say that China is using climate as a diplomatic tool?
I think both countries are. It's interesting. I think that China blames America for the deterioration in relations over the past 6 months, ever since a Chinese weather balloon, as they said, or spy balloon, if you listen to the Americans, flew across American airspace and the Americans shot it down. The Chinese have always said that this wasn't the intention, that it was a force majeure, an act of God. So they haven't really been talking for the last 6 months. They don't agree. Washington and Beijing don't agree on very much, so it's good to concentrate on the things that you can agree on. And in the past, America and China have shown a lot of leadership to the world by agreeing on climate issues. And it's only about 4 months away. We're only about 4 months away now from the next COP meeting. The United Nations brokered meeting. This is going to be in Dubai to discuss progress on fighting climate change.
All right. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us with your inputs on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.